Welcome back to GIMP Activity 4a. This is video 3, starting with the clone tool. Our objective today is going to be to actually start with working with the clone tool. We're going to start your clone tool activity with a large brush, change brushes depending on how big or small an area you have to work with, and we're going to say goodbye to the lady in the blue hood. Alright, so first things first, you notice that I still have the same image that I had from last video. What I can do is I can Control Z, go back, or I could go use the undo history and go back to my original, go all the way back to original, or what I can do is say File, Revert. When I say File Revert, it deletes everything and brings me back to the original image. You'll notice it got rid of the history. It's just like opening this image up from brand new. Okay, so we did this. Now we're going to go back to our clone tool. We're going to click right here. And now what we want to do is I'm going to zoom in a bit. And we want to get rid of this lady. So I'm going to choose this brush right here, hardiness 0.5. And I'm going to change my size to about 20. Alright, so the idea is that we're going to clone this background onto her face here, but we want to make it a bit random, make it look like it's a proper wall. If we just clone one area with a silhouette of her, it'll look really awkward. It'll look like we actually just photoshopped her out, quite literally. Okay, so I'm going to press Control and click this area here, and then I'm going to, if you notice, I've got it kind of cloning out. If I go too far this way, I start to get this guy. So I'm going to Control Z that. And if I go too far this way, you'll notice that I start to get her face back in. And if I go way too far, she comes in. So what happens is GIMP uses the original image. So when even though it looks like it's brown or looks like it's a wall, when I actually click it, it just shows back her face. So obviously we don't want that. So we're going to Control Z, and what we're going to do is just use strokes, try to make it as random as possible. So I'm going to do it like that. I can change my location, so I can press Control, press it here, and now here I'm changing my location. I want to get the snowflakes in as well in a random way. You don't want a regular pattern, but you also don't want no snowflakes as well. If you do get a regular pattern, again, it just looks weird. It looks like somebody was there and something weird happened. So if you notice, I've got snowflakes kind of in my image now. I'm going to move it again, just randomly. I'm going to leave this part for now. I'm going to go on the other side, and I'm going to do the same thing here. So if you're remembering how to change your tool, just press Control and press a new location. And this time I'm going to move the other way. Again, trying to do it a bit randomly, change it again. Maybe put it right here. Now, hopefully you're noticing something. The background on this side and this side are not exactly the same. So we're going to deal with that in a bit. So I'm going to zoom in right now, and you'll notice that once I zoom in, my cursor is a bit too big, so I'm going to change this. I'm going to make this smaller, or let's make it 5. Okay, so now that's 5. I can do the same thing. You can be as precise as you like. I'm just clicking right now. Maybe change my location a bit. Change it there. So this one actually is not that good because I have it just on the snowflake. So I'm going to maybe change it here. And I'm just going to work on this. The more time you spend doing this properly, the better your image will look. So maybe I'll change it over here this time. Oops, I'm going to put it right there. Alright, so just continue on with this, and once you're done, it should kind of have just a background here. I'm going to spend the rest of the off time video doing this. You don't need to see me do the rest. Alright, so join me again for the next video where we'll move on.